If there's one director who refuses to let cinema sit still, it's James Cameron. Every time he drops a movie, he's trying to change the way movies are made. I love Terminator 2 and I love Aliens. I talk about it frequently on this channel. I find his latest creation, the Avatar movies, to be entertaining as well, but I really love them for their ambition and the leaps in tech Cameron and his team take to bring the vision to life. But when Avatar Fire and Ash came out, I saw a discourse online that I was not expecting to see. People really can't stand this franchise, yet we keep going to see it. What's up, folks? My name is Johnny and this is the Fourth Wall Break, where I tell stories about stories. If you vibe with that, hit subscribe and tap the bell so you don't miss the next one. Back in December 2009, I was living at home again with my folks. Since we were all under one roof again, we went to the movies a lot. I still remember the buzz when we drove out to see Avatar in 3D. Avatar, at that time, was a moment. The tech James Cameron developed for performance capture and stereoscopic 3D was revolutionary. This was my dream kind of filmmaking, inventing new tools just to see something look more real than anything we've ever seen before on screen, and I was super hyped to go see it. They were shooting it as best as they could to make it look as good as they could in post. It was a rare collection and fusion of technology, vision, and passion that a lot of studios wouldn't take the risk on today. But I guess Cameron's got a lot of cachet. I remember sitting next to my mom in the theater, and whenever something visually stunning happened, we would look at each other like, oh shit. We look over at each other and we smile a lot. My mom was super hyped to go see this movie as well. She grew up with those flimsy red and blue paper 3D glasses. I mean, so did I, so did everybody before 3D became what it is today. And that was NASA level by comparison. But the innovation didn't fully extend to the story. Avatar's plot was something we've seen many, many times before. Like many times before. One of my mom's favorite movies is Dances with Wolves. And there's like a running joke in our family where like, if she's scrolling through channels and she sees one shot from it, like someone's hand touching something, she'll know it's Dances with Wolves. So let's go over the plot of Avatar really quickly and then compare how it's been done many, many times before. A guy joins a native population. He realizes the imperialists he came with are trash. He switches sides. He fights for the people he grew to love. We've been there, we've done that. And it doesn't stop there. A Tom Cruise movie that I really actually like and I've watched a bunch of times, The Last Samurai, is guilty of the same plot. A guy joins a native population, he realizes the imperialists he came with are trash, he switches sides, he fights for the people he came to love. Sound familiar? Avatar took the world. It made $2.9 billion. It was the biggest movie ever for a decade, and then Cameron hit us again. Avatar: The Way of Water dropped right before Christmas in 2022. This time, I saw it with my then girlfriend, now my wife. And the story was a bit stronger, a bit more innovative, a bit more original, a bit different. The visuals were, again, really amazing, and there was a big gap within the movies, so you really got to see that leap. Cameron and his team basically built an alien ocean from scratch. There were underwater performance capture, there was new lighting systems, and there's visual effects tech that studios still can't seem to replicate. That's what got my ass in the seat a second time. Me and wifey, we enjoyed it. But I'll be honest, a few years passed and I barely remembered the plot. I couldn't remember any character names. I had to rewatch it again just to write the script for this video. I did remember a few things though. How's the saying go? You don't always remember people, but you remember how they made you feel or something like that. I don't know. If I'm wrong, I know you guys will correct me. But I remember the stakes being a little bit higher. I remember worrying about Sully's kids during the whole battle sequences that were happening towards the end. Hey, cuz! I remembered at the very end, after I've watched it the first time, I was Googling all the actors to see like what they look like in real life, because some of them I hadn't heard of, especially the kids. Insane, cuz! But I can't lie to you guys. Watching it on a rewatch, I drifted off again a few times. I was on my phone a couple of times. There's a lot of exposition scenes. There's a lot of filler. The movie feels fat. But I still found it entertaining, and like I said in the beginning, I really love the ambition that they put into making these films. That brings us to present day.
Your goddess has no dominion here.
Damn! Avatar 3 was released last year, December, right around Christmas, and I went with my boy Paul to go see it. I wasn't super excited, but Paul and I like to go see a flick together. You know, we both are movie buffs, we both love art. And spoiler alert, if you have not seen it yet, I'm going to spoil a little bit of it. This time, we were introduced to the Ash Navi, a fire-based Navi civilization with a more antagonistic worldview, not purely the noble natives we've come to expect. So I thought it was pretty good. I'm not going to rehash the entire plot. Pretty good, excellent are two different things. I'll just give you my raw thoughts. The tech is dope, although it's a little less breathtaking than it was in 2022. The story was a little weird, to say the least. I wanted to see more of the Ash Navi and more of Varang, the leader of their clan, but the movie kind of drifted back into its safety net, which is Jake versus Quarish, or the Colonel guy, as I used to call him. I just remembered his name after 3 movies. Varang, she was hot. I'm just gonna go out there and say it. Her people and their story were interesting, but we kind of delved right back to the tried and true story this franchise keeps retelling. And like I said before, that's Jake and the Colonel. The beef between those two just will not end. I thought this would be the end. We've been conditioned as an audience to believe that a trilogy wraps up the arcs, but that doesn't seem to happen. They keep fighting. Every single movie, they fight in the big climax. There's no closure. The arcs are the same. They hinted multiple times in this movie that Quarish would be like having a change of heart now that he's like in a romantic relationship with Varang, and maybe he'll see the beauty of Pandora. But we're 3 movies in, they're still fighting. He doesn't even die at the end. They're gonna just keep doing this. It's thematically a rehash of the second one. Still, it went on to make a bajillion freaking dollars. But a review of this franchise is not what this video is about. I wanted to talk about the discourse that happened after this movie came out. Posts online seem to like this film as the best in the series, but there's been talk about how it's never held any cultural relevance. Again, for the 3rd time, these movies make a bajillion dollars. And yeah, the Na'vi occasionally make a Halloween appearance at your local Halloween party.
And look, I've even been on that Avatar ride at Animal Kingdom, and it was dope as hell.
But I don't see kids clamoring for Na'vi action figures or for there to be any like phrase or saying from the movie that enters the lexicon.
I see you.
Like, think Avengers Assemble. Like, you were hearing that everywhere. Or Wakanda Forever. Think about Stranger Things and how, like, we know every single side character from that show. Like, we talk about every season collectively as a community, as a country, as a people. And it's like, we don't have that same love and attachment to the Avatar films. Like, I just saw Avatar 3 and I still don't remember those kids' names.
Bro, that's disgusting.
We just don't have that connection with this movie franchise, but we keep showing up to see it. At least I do. So what is up with that? When do we stop caring about this movie franchise? And if we stop caring about it, why does it keep making a bajillion dollars? I'm not gonna lie to you guys. I think I'm out when it comes to watching this in theaters. I'm probably gonna catch the next one on streaming at home. Like, it just doesn't justify the heavy price tag. I mean, unless Paul wants to go see it because there's nothing else going on in another December 2 or 3 years from now, but I think I'm officially out. I just don't care that much about these characters. And that's messed up because I really, really want to. And I really, really love the type of ambition that James Cameron puts into his movies. And I love when tech intertwines with filmmaking vision. That's what makes really dope, visually appealing movies. Not much can be said about the sameness of the plot, but how many more of these do we have to sit through before we're finally all collectively done?
And Cameron himself, he doesn't care what we think. In an interview with The Ringer, he expressed that his mission statement hasn't really changed. He said, maybe it's a memory from childhood or being in the woods. Maybe it's some kind of cultural memory going way back to our indigenous times. Who knows what that is? They feel it in the moment and they walk out, but then do they take action? Do they do something about ocean conservation or the plight of the whales and endangered species? 1 in 1,000, I think, do. I'm happy with 1 in 1,000 if they go out and become warriors for the things that are important.
So I asked those questions to ask you, what do you think about this movie franchise? Are you done with it? Did you find them entertaining? Are you aware of the discourse that's going on where they're saying these movies have no cultural relevance? Do you tend to agree? Are you like me? Drop your thoughts below and let your boy know. Well, that's my story. Thanks for watching. And as usual, stay blessed, stay inspired.
I see you.
I really, truly,
See you.
I hope you see me too.